Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today, we're going to be talking about Quant Network and QNT. But before we jump on in, I just want to say, I am recording this a little bit ahead of time. So please be aware that prices are most likely going to change if I am talking about any of them. So let's just dive in and talk about a few things. So as I refresh, we are nearing around roughly the $21,000 level. We are basically, just ranging here. It is currently about 4:13 a.m. I think that, today, considering it is Friday, we will most likely see, a few volatile swings as stocks do open. Of course, if you are short term, I wouldn't be trading into the weekend, but that is just my opinion. Of course, I would wait more so for Monday. But in terms of QNT, we have been sitting around this $45 level. Again, like I said, around $40 is an easy, average in, area for me personally, especially if you are a long-term visionary around Quant. I think that, QNT has a bright future. And we're actually going to be talking about a few things today with, Swift, a few banks and things like that. We also did get an update on the holders tab. We did add a few more, almost roughly 200 new total addresses. That's pretty great to see. So that is awesome. In terms of trade volume and stuff like that, we are still obviously down. This entire market has been ranging around the $900 billion mark. It's honestly funny. You guys probably know me. I talk to you guys about the use cases that Quant or just in general crypto is solving, and it's just funny that we are still sitting at around a $900 billion market cap, or even why Quant is sitting at almost $550 million in market cap. It's just crazy to me. Now, let's talk about a few things. So, yeah, I know that we talk about interoperability a lot within Quant, but that is basically the main focus here. But we do see here, this is from Quant at around almost 4 a.m. saying interoperability is critical to scaling in the right way. Now everybody's got their proprietary stack and system with nothing in common. We will see ways for all these things to talk to each other. Again, as more and more networks do come out within this market, there's a ton of them. In fact, I support multiple networks in this space. I've talked to you guys about layer 1s, layer 2s, etc. I don't really kind of look at them as main competitors. I think that everything will essentially be interconnected, but there will be clear winners at the end of the day once regulatory clarity measurements are taken. I think that when we talk about those main winners, obviously the ISO 222 tokens are going to most likely continue to go forward. QNT will definitely be here. I think that a large amount of the tokens that we talk about on a daily basis are going to be here, like XRP, Casper, XLM, HBAR, etc. So these are networks that will most likely be utilized by multiple use cases, multiple enterprises. CBDCs will be launching on private networks, etc. So interoperability definitely is critical. I think that it's probably one of the most, I would say necessary use cases in the space to truly be invested in, and also I think that it's going to definitely shine as we do kind of move forward on in mass adoption of a lot of crypto use cases. Now, obviously, yes, this is a slower use case itself, and it is a long-term investment. But when we see articles like this posted from, Swift, basically confirming our, position in this asset, it's kind of hard not to be bullish even on the short term. We do see here from Swift, new experiments pave way for international payments utilizing CBDCs. Now, the first quote that we actually do see from the Chief Innovation Officer from Swift: facilitating interoperability and interlinking between different CBDCs being developed around the world will be critical if we are to truly or fully, realize their potential. This is why I say, in terms of crypto adoption and crypto use cases, we won't be seeing the true, power and potential behind crypto use cases unless we have, interoperability. And we do see down here, while much of the current focus on CBDCs, digital versions of existing central bank money, is on how they could help achieve domestic policy goals, there's one, potential blind spot: their use cross-border. Facilitating interoperability and interlinking between different CBDCs being developed around the world will be critical if we are to fully realize their potential. Today, the global CBDC ecosystem risks becoming fragmented, with numerous central banks developing their own digital currencies based on different technology standards and protocols. And yes, we have been seeing a large amount of countries actually exploring their own CBDCs. We actually do see here 105 countries are exploring central bank digital currencies. This is from June 6th, by the way. This has been, growing rapidly. I'm sure that you guys are probably all aware that we have actually been really kind of looking at this number continue to grow, month in and month out. We do see, representing over 95% of the global GDP. I've talked to you guys a little bit about this just recently, but the reason why I bring it back up is because when we really kind of look at this, yes, like there is going to be a main stage environment around this space that really kind of shifts the linking of these CBDCs, to a streamlined process. Now, we do see navigating decentralization is complex with many technology choices, operating models, and policy considerations. We look forward to continuing to collaborate in building industry standards and frameworks with Swift. This is from Capgemini. When we really kind of look around this space and really kind of address like interoperability, to me, like the solution is already here. There's already major, changes happening around this space. I think that if we could get interoperability between like, the Swift network or like just major financial institutional, systems as well, and really kind of just look at the adoption that is taking place within this market, you can really kind of see the vision going forward, but also like having that interoperability layer between like the legacy, financial institutions to, DeFi protocols, CBDCs, even cross-border payment use cases as well. Like it's going to unlock massive doors for like streamlined processes of trillions, per day. And I think that number could grow drastically. I think that in terms of like scalability, I think that crypto could, push the boundaries of what we do see facilitated on a day-to-day basis in terms of like settlements. Now, also in terms of CBDCs, we do see from June 16th, Bank of Israel, BIS, Hong Kong, send bank to test retail CBDC feasibility. We're seeing a major move here from CBDC adoption and testing. I just shared with you guys recently, like this entire market, as everyone is really kind of scared a little bit. We're seeing major shifts happening around the world, and we also do see like a major move here. Like the architecture is assumed to have several benefits: less financial risk for the customer, more liquidity, lower costs, increased competition, and wider access. The issue that I am seeing actually around CBDCs, though, is something interesting, and that is this. Okay, so I don't know why it took so long to load, but major banks urge caution with European Union CBDC plans. Interesting. I wonder why major banks are, cautioning, European Union's, decision here. So we actually do see down here, we actually get a reason why, and that's this here. No more banks, but those would only work if the right design, right? Reiner says there's a little information on, for example, whether the digital euro would work with other payment mechanisms. Unsurprisingly, Reiner doesn't want the banking sector to be forgotten, arguing that it would likely be the intermediary between central banks and ordinary shoppers. For others among them, EU lawmaker Luis Garciano, who wants the ECB to think bigger Web3 is a chance to transform the financial system. And yes, I do think it is. I think, listen, will we see banks basically disappear? In my opinion, I think that individuals that are more tech savvy, I think that those individuals are no longer going to be utilizing banks. I think that we will be utilizing digital wallets and mostly, digital currency. Yes, we still will most likely have fiat, but I think that it is interesting on how banks are basically scared of this new system. Because again, if we do see a CBDC launching, it will basically kill the banking system. It will basically kill these massive monopoly players, if you will, that are collecting trillions of dollars per year in terms of fees and dispersing it within the banking sector. So to me, I think that as we do really see a lot of adoption happening within the CBDC area, I think that a lot of it's kind of getting held up through not only regulations, but I also think that a lot of these major bank players are trying to kind of hold things back and delay the process. But I think with ISO 222 launching in November, I think that a lot of this, major area focus point on CBDCs and the financial system, and even use cases around crypto are going to be streamlined. We will see, peak adoption most likely happen around roughly the 2023 to 2024 area. And going forward, I do believe that crypto is going to continuously grow. I just think that as regulations get ushered in, as digital currencies and digital money basically get ushered in, I think that that's going to be the area where a large amount of adoption really kind of starts to peak. I think that there's going to be a large amount of inflow from just like retail individuals, but also like even institutional grade clients really kind of moving in on crypto. And I think that that's going to be a very exciting time for all of you individuals right now that are watching this video that are extremely early on this space. And of course, last but not least, I share with you this final quote. So shout out to Son NL11, but we do see here Q&T still hiring, can't keep up with the demand. And I think that this is interesting. So first off, yes, Quant has been hiring like massive numbers of individuals, but we do see here, why do people do marketing in business? Because they need to generate leads and sales. As I just explained, we are trying to increase our team capacity to deal with the increasing customer demand. And going back to this tweet that we recently just seen, you know what's bullish about this quote? That Quant or Q&T doesn't need to rely on pumping price to survive like 99% of crypto. It's also why you won't be a millionaire overnight, but it is a comfy sign that they are building a sustainable business that 100% will be there in 5 years. And yeah, I mean, it's truly remarkable with where we are basically at with Q&T. Like, the demand is there. Customer demand is there. I would say that in terms of where like Quant is positioned, they are at probably the best position compared to like other altcoins and other like projects within the space. Currently, they are at this moment in time where they clearly see the vision that they need to have. They are building towards that vision, and they're the only company within this space that has a token that you could clearly invest in, because there is other interoperability like use case. Well, I shouldn't say use cases, but like systems basically, but they're private. You cannot invest into them. They don't have a token. But what Quant is doing here and what Quant has behind them is not only major players within major industries, but they also have a growing demand that's going to continuously grow and grow and grow. And now they need a larger team. That is very, very good to know as not only an investor, but also as like a long-term visionary. Because as you could vision, like basically as you can envision, where we are basically headed towards within not only like interoperability and adoption of like crypto use cases around the space, you could also see where Quant is leading. In my opinion, like in terms of like the top 10 list in this market, I do foresee like a day where Q&T is within the top 10. Obviously, yes, it's going to take some time, but they are continuously building, they're continuously growing, the demand is growing, and you could clearly see from large players, large entities like Swift, that interoperability is 100% crucial, and it's critical to have within this market. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.